Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Mizamani G. It's time to review one of my most anticipated horror films of the year. Yes, it is the sequel from 2019's great film. This is Ready or Not. Here I come. Ha 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 ha!
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Mizamani G. Now, Ready or Not, Here I Come is a 2026 American comedy horror film that was directed by Matt Benatelli Open and Tyler Gillett. It was written by Guy Bissek and R. Christopher Murphy. The film stars Samara Weaving, Catherine Newton, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean Hatosi, I think I pronounced his name, Elijah Wood, and Kevin Durant. Now, in this film, after surviving one deadly game, Grace and her sister Face must now outrun four rival families competing in a powerful throne. Winner takes all. Ooh. Now, horror fans, when a horror comedy film, Ready or Not, was released back in 2019, no one knew how funny, bloody, gross, and how great this film would be. Directed by the Radio Silence team of Matt Benanelli Open and Tara Gillett, starring screen queen Australian actress Samara Weaving, the film was praised by critics and loved by horror fans. We really did love this film. Now, in the film, Samara plays Grace, a former foster child who is marrying Alex de Les Damas, a member of the famous Les Damas Family Games Company. And what should have been the happiest time of her life turns into a nightmare when Grace learns that the Les Damas family has made a deal with the devil and she is their latest sacrifice. Forced to play a deadly game of hide and seek, Grace must survive being hunted by the Les Damas family, who must kill her before dawn the next morning or they will die themselves. Now, it was a nice and fun horror film with another great performance by Samara Weaving, some great practical effects, some very funny scenes, and some decent bloody and violent kills. We really did enjoy this particular film. Now, of course, it should be no surprise that the sequel was greenlit as the film grossed over $57 million on only a $6 million budget. That's what these film companies do. When you have a hit something like this, you gotta make a sequel. So Radio Silence and Samara Weaving are back to bring us the sequel most horror fans have been waiting for, and that is Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Now, taking place just moments after the conclusion of the first film, Grace falls unconscious, or she gets unconscious after she comes out and smokes a cigarette, and she is taken to a nearby hospital where she is reunited with her estranged sister, Faith. Meanwhile, at the same time, there is a council, an order of six elite families that are notified of the Les Damas massacre and are ordered to Chester Danworth's estate. They kidnap Grace and Faith and bring them to the mansion and explain to them that a new game has commenced due to Grace's winning the hide and seek game with the Lamas family. Apparently, she was not supposed to be able to survive that one, but unfortunately, she did. So now, for some strange reason, we got another game, or just an excuse to make another movie. And that's because these six families, or these four families that we have right now, also sold their souls to the devil, and in order to claim a high ranking position called the High Chair, they must kill Grace before dawn the next day, or they will suffer the same fate as the De Lamont family did. So we have Ursula and her twin brother Titus, and Ignacio El Cado, Wang Chen Xing, and Madhu Raja all go out and trying their best to kill Grace and claim the high chair. That's kind of what this film was about. Now, we all really enjoyed the first film. It was a blast seeing Grace, who was scared and frightened at first, but eventually became a badass when confronting the De Lamont family. It was also great seeing the people responsible for making that film all return, and we believe that they can duplicate the success of the first film. Like I said, the same directors are back, the same screenwriters are back. Samantha Williams is back. We got obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar. We got Catherine Newton. We got we got Kevin Durant. So we got a lot of great people in this particular film. Unfortunately, despite their best efforts, this film fails to capture what made the first film work. I was very, very disappointed with this particular film. I mean, don't get me wrong now, horror fans. There are just some good things that this film does, like those same bloody explosions that we saw in the first film. And they might not have the same punch that they had in the first film, but it's still amazing to see all that blood dust explode. And for some reason, it always lands on Samara, and this time Catherine as well. We also get the same type of family dynamics, but this actually falls with Grace and Faith relationship as the two go back and forth with each other regarding their past and how Grace abandoned Faith several years ago. I thought there was a nice way for them to try to bond and also for the audience to get to see a little past between because obviously in the first film, Grace told the Lamas that she didn't have a family. So all of a sudden we have this sister here. So obviously we have to explain what happened. And I thought it was a nice back and forth, and I'll speak to them later. But both Samantha and Catherine do a good job in their roles here. My problem with this film is the pacing and the story because the film drags on at times and the story lacks the heart and soul that made the first film whatsoever. Sometimes you just cannot duplicate the success that you have in one film and try to do the same in the other. Just sometimes it just doesn't happen. I think, unlike with the first film where we only had to deal with the Lamas family, here we have several, and the script does not do a good enough job to fleshing them out. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, other than Ursula and Titus, we really don't know that much of the other families other than the fact that they want their chance at the high chair. I mean, like I said before, we really don't know that much about Nestor Caraballo's character. We really don't know about his family. We don't know much about Raja and his brother. All we know is that it seems like for some reason we get a lot more backstory of something to do with Titus and Ursula and the reason why they want to have the high chair. But they don't do enough with the other families, so they're kind of just one dimensional, and we really don't care about them. Now, the problem with the pacing also comes with Grace and Faith when they have their moments together, kind of slowing the film down, arguing about their past as a way for the audience to get to care about them. It's nice, but it slows the film down. It kind of doesn't fit probably how the film was pacing. And then we see them sitting together at probably around the second act of the film, where we get to see them arguing back and forth. It's a nice way trying to slow the film down, but it also drags the film down too. Now, while both Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton have great chemistry together, as I stated earlier, the script doesn't allow them to bond like sisters should, especially in the situation that they're in. Something is missing in here. Just like I said before, there is no heart, there is no soul that we saw in the first film. And even though no matter how good Samara and Catherine are, they just don't bond like they should. The same goes for Sarah Michelle Gellar as well. Despite how hard she tries with Ursula, she comes off as dull and flat, and there's some things that happen to her that just seems out of place, where she doesn't be the threat that you need her to be. Now, at least Aunt Helena Damas was more menacing than anyone else in this particular film. That's what you're looking to have. When you see in the first film, when we see Aunt Helena in the first moments of the film, we know that she's got something devious in store. But none of these people have that look in here, and that's a problem. Now, obviously, the saving grace of this film is the performance of Samara and Catherine. As I stated before, they have great chemistry together, and it helped rise the film at times. Other than these two, if it was somebody else, this film would be a disaster. I mean, there is one fight scene that happens during the second act of the film that I believe the filmmakers thought it would be funny. And while it's interesting, and I guess some people in my audience got a little laugh, but they really didn't have anything to laugh at. Probably because it doesn't have the humor that I believe the Radio Silence guys thought it would. Then we have the third act of the film. Oh boy. Which drags and drags and drags, and nothing really happens that should have at least had the audience glued to their seat, but like most of the film, it's just flat and lackluster. Like it takes almost the whole 20 to 25 minutes, making the film even drag longer. It's like this is what we're doing here. It's like where's the tension? Where's the suspense? Where's the humor? Where's something funny is going to happen? It's just, ugh, man, it just didn't make any sense. And it's sad that when you have the same directors, Matt Benatelli Open and Tyler Gillett, and the same screenwriters, Gary Bissek and R. Christopher Murphy, and you don't get the same kind of movie. You would expect you were going to get something good because most of the movies that these guys have made are pretty good. but they definitely missed the ball here. Well, for me, while this isn't the worst horror film of the year, we'll leave that to the Strangers trilogy. I was very disappointed. I expected something much better, not the dull, flat, and lackluster film that I saw today. It was very hard for me trying to rate this film because it's not meh like Scream 7 was. It's not good. It's certainly not great. So I can only give this film only 1.5 of the Miser's 5 bloody gold coins. I'm pretty sure people will enjoy this film, and if you did, I'm glad you did. I didn't. I'm sorry. I expected something much better than this. So there you have it, my horror fans. That is my review and video of Ready or Not. Here I come. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. It really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Ready or Not? Here I come. Did you really enjoy it, or did you felt disappointed like I did? Leave your comments in your comment section below until you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button. Ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G, and always remember, horror rules. And I see you in my next video. Guys, stay safe out there.